Hello everyone, I'm actually recording a Zoom that I'm using to walk you through question number 7, question 6. So I'm going to walk you through what is also referred to as case study 7B. You do have the case study Kill Me Now for the budget of $15 million in your module, and you need to watch the video. It's very important that you watch the case study video so you know what to relate to. So we are using the same assumptions then in the case study Kill Me Now for the $15 million budget. And we are now changing just a few things. The first thing we're changing is we are increasing the budget to $16 million. The second thing we're going to be changing is that we are changing the production incentive to 20% because we're shooting in New Mexico. These are the only two changes that we're actually applying for this question number 6 in quiz 7. So what is that going to look like? So let's here look at our project valuation. You see here, I increased the budget to $16 million. Actual strike price budget, it's $15,550,000. And how we get to the strike price budget, we're going to get into in a minute. But remember that the strike price budget is basically representing your actual expenses, money that you actually have to pay out of the budget. Now, the sales estimates and the sales in this case are not changing. You're still selling France for $1,500,000. You're selling Spain for $1,125,000. You're selling the United Kingdom for $1,687,500, and you're selling Australia for $937,500. These are the pre-sales. These are the actual pre-sales that you'll be making, and they're not changing. They're the same in the case study that you see in your module. And those territories are referred to as territory of the tier 1 level, which means the bank is going to look at them as stronger territories, which will lead to them being cash flowed with a higher percentage. Now, the tier 2 territories, you're selling the Middle Eastern rights for $187,500, and you're selling South African right for $187,500, and together you get to $375,000 for the sales of Middle Eastern rights and South African rights in the tier 2 level. So your entire pre-sales is going to be $5,625,000 in this case, and also your down payment is 10%. So none of this has changed in relation to the case study that you have on the module, which is available to you as a step-by-step video as well. So if you're unsure about how we got to these numbers and you still have questions about the section, please watch that video. We are left with unsold rights of $6,726,000 based on the original sales estimates that were provided to us. We're going to sell 35% of our budget later, after the movie is done, for $5,600,000. So once we have put together all the sales that we have made, we should end up with worthwhile distribution rights of $17,951,000. So what does it look like in our bank loan? So here is our bank loan. Now the bank loan is going to be slightly different than from your case study that you looked at before. Now the tier 1 and tier 2 pre-sales are not changing. Tier 1 is still cash flowed at $4,725,000, and the tier 2 is still cash flowed at $187,500 at the 50% discount rate. So here's what the cash flow number looks like, $4,925,500. This is basically cash flowing those two tiers and using those contracts, and the bank will of course deduct the down payment that we earlier defined as $562,000 and $500. So the gross pre-sale loan is 4,350,000, and we're charging an interest, and we get to the net pre-sale loan. This too has not changed from the case study that is in your modules and in the video. The unsold rights are a little more right now, simply because we are increasing the budget. So we are ending up having available collateral at $3,363,000. Our budget cap for $16 million is $3,200,000. So that's what we need to understand as a budget cap, because 20% of your budget is the maximum number you can receive in order to get a bank loan from a bank. So we're charging the 8%, which is $256,000. There's no loan fee. And then we have the net gap loan of $2,944,000. So this is the only section that changes a little bit, simply because our budget has increased. So now the loan is a little higher. We have a net bank loan of $7,033,000, which we're using to finance our movie. And we have a gross bank loan of $7,550,000, which we're going to be recouping because it includes all the interest fees. Okay. So now, hold on a second. Let's go to the next slide. Here we go. The junior loan hasn't changed. We're still getting $1.2 million. We're still paying a $50,000 executive producer fee and a $20,000 legal fee. So this has not changed. This is the same than in the case study in the modules that you have the video for. The production incentive has changed, however, because we're now 20% of the budget, $3,110,000, and we're charging a 15% fee, and we're charging a legal fee. So the incentive amount is $2,573,500. So this amount is higher because you have a larger budget. Now, the incentive amount is based on actual expenses, which means this is based on your strike price. It's not based on your $16 million budget. It's based on the $15 million budget. I think it's 15 million. Let me check here what the budget was. 15,550,000. So that's the 20% incentive component, because it's based on actual expenses. And since you have certain areas where you're not going to actually spend the money, those will be deducted, and that's why the strike price is lower, and that's why your incentive is lower. So let's take a look at the branding and crowdfunding. This has not changed. It's the same amount than in your case study on the module. Nothing has changed here, still the same. And then when we go into, we go down here into the in-kind elements. Now these are the elements that you are using to deduct from your budget. And the reason is we have $300,000 in crowdsourcing, which are services provided to you that you have budgeted but you're not paying for. And you have $150,000 in music investment, which you have a budgeted music budget for, but you're not paying that. So this $450,000 is what you are deducting from your budget to get to the strike price of $15,550,000. So now we're looking at the equity, and the equity is gearing towards covering the strike price, of course. So we have altogether, with the finance sources that we've listed, $11,886,500, and in order to reach a strike price, we need $3,663,500 in equity. So when we establish our equity and we now have our movie funded, we can go into the revenue and recoupment situation. So our recoupment schedule shows now the $5,600,000 that we get from the US, 35% of the budget. It shows all the pre-sales that we still have, which have not changed. It shows our worldwide revenues at $17,388,500. We are getting brand integration, which is the second half, which is due upon delivery of the film. We talked about this before. Brand integration usually pays 50% on closing, 50% on delivery. So here's the delivery. We're going to add that to our gross revenues, which is why they are $17,601,000. And then we pay what we always pay. We pay the collection agent, we pay our bank loan back, we pay the sales agency fee, we pay our mezzanine loan and the premium back, we pay the equity and the premium. So our total expenses will be $16,255,370. And our net revenues, if we're taking all our gross revenues, we're deducting all our expenses, will be $1,346,630. So now the profit participation looks like this. We are taking our net revenues and we're sharing with the equity 50% of what the equity amount was in relation to the budget. We're sharing our mezzanine, crowdfunder, our crowdsourcing. All these things are established in the assumptions. They haven't changed. But this number, of course, has changed because we have a higher budget. So that will get us to the producer balance of $842,338.11. This is the correct answer for this question. So again, please go to the module, and I believe it is, let me check here real quick. Where is the module? Let me just go here and see, hold on. I'm gonna try to find the right module for you here. Let me go into the courses. Let's go to the right course, and I'm gonna show you where this case study is that you're looking at and watch the video for in order to do this quiz question. Un momento, por favor. Here we are. Here it is. So there we go. So this is the case study that you're going through in order to understand what is happening here. You have specialized pre-sales, sales estimates, you're doing your loan, you're having your mezzanine, your brand integration. All of this is here. Here's your sales estimate sheet pointing out your pre-sales, your actual pre-sales and what they are, how much is left. Go to your finance plan here. And then the senior loan, you see it's slightly lower because the budget is lower. You see here, $3 million is the cap. Then you're going to your mezzanine loan portion and all the other elements for the finance sources. You go to the in-kind services, and then you see your recoupment and profit schedule here in the case study. So this is the base case study that you look at, and it is explained with a video right here. Look at that first, and then you know how to run the case study that we are doing here, which is your quiz number 7, question 6. Okay, so I hope this explains a few things. I'm going to share this with everyone so everyone has the answer to the question. And then if you have any questions after watching this video and watching the video in the module, feel free to email me and then I respond to your question, of course, or we can set a time to speak and then I'll walk you through it one-on-one. All right, I'm going to place this video now into your video section on your dashboard and you can watch it at your convenience. Good night.